So in the previous video that I uploaded, I wanted to do a video just kind of looking at the summoning side of things for Jujutsu Kaisen. Of course, you know, it's a gacha game, you know, we're all going to be summoning, try and pull for Gojo or whoever, our favorite characters as you could say. But obviously in that video I just quickly wanted to briefly touch up on, you know, just also speaking about a few things about, you know, release date, global, etc. and all that good stuff, and talk a little bit more about obviously the animation side of things. It's crazy how Jujutsu Kaisen has better animations than Black Clover when it comes to summoning. I'm just saying. Anywho, of course with that there was obviously a previous live stream. We managed to look at certain characters, so much so that there is an understanding on the characters themselves. So of course when it comes to leading up to the release of Jujutsu Kaisen, we've got a bit of a foundation now on characters to look out for. So we're going to briefly go over these characters. Thankfully it's going to be the characters that were shown within the live stream, and they're all SSRs, so happy days. We got info on the characters that we need info for, rather than the SRs. Of course they'll just come and go through the summons. It's the SSRs and what we're going to be re-rolling for. So there's that. One thing, we are waiting for the final trailer, or whenever that's going to be, if there is still one more video to show. So if they want to release that anytime soon, that'd be very much appreciated. But yeah, let's dive on in. So, oh, let me scroll up a little bit. There we go. So, like I said, there was a live stream happening beforehand, like a month ago, 2 months ago, something like that. And we now have key informations, I guess, to give us a bit of an insight on how the characters are being designed and what role they play. And I guess to give us a better idea on who to potentially reroll for. Now, I say that, I think it's fair to say that majority are going to be rerolling for Gojo, right? Let me just say how it is, because me, even not knowing what these characters were doing, I was like, yeah, Gojo is going to be the character I'm going to reroll for. So, regardless of on what's been said, Gojo is the man. Now, with all that being said, this is kind of where things are being classed with the characters that were shown within the live stream with the information that we have. Gojo being SS, thank the Lord, makes it a lot easier now to officially just completely summon for that man, or reroll for him, should I say. S rank Maki, Panda, Itadori, and Fushiguro. A rank Todo, Kugisaki, and Nanami. Though that's kind of how things have been spread out. I will say Todo, I'm having difficulty to understand on what's going on. Kugisaki is a character which we haven't fully grasped yet, but I do believe that she could potentially be up in S rank, including with Nanami, because he could very well be a crit machine. Just saying. Okay, so things are just kind of being put on where they are right now. I would personally switch them up and down just from what I'm reading, but to give you guys an early evaluation on what each of these characters are doing, this is what was shown to us gameplay wise, right? So I'm going to leave Gojo till last because I need to. We're going to start from the bottom. We're going to start with Nanami. Attack skill that combines taijutsu and magic. So there's going to be two types of attacking going on. Kind of makes sense, right? So you got the close-up hand-to-hand combat, as well as consuming your magic, which will allow you to use your cursed attacks, of course. With that buff, that makes it easier to increase your own crit rate and enemy break. So this is why I mentioned how Nanami could be a bit of a crit machine by the fact that he can buff himself up to get that crit rate up. So I feel like Nanami will be a huge attacking character to have. So that's something to take note of. Kugisaki is a character that we still don't know too much about, so it applies a nail counter to the enemy with a normal attack. Details are still unknown. It consumes a lot of curse power, but it's highly powerful on its own. So for me personally, obviously having a nail counter on a certain character as it's stacking up, either it's going to stack up to the point where it explodes and does a ton of damage, or maybe it does a ton of damage over time, or maybe it makes it so that there's a bit of a debuff defense going on. Something is happening, because if it's consuming a lot of curse power, a lot of magic power, well, call it what you will, and it is doing a high amount of damage, should I say, then it's got to be something along the lines of explosion when the nail counter is at a certain amount, or some sort of debuff to drop the enemy's defense. It's something along the lines on that. So that's why I say Kugisaki could be something. Looking into Todo, again, a character which I'm really not, I don't get, look, if you have a Tiger Cane on your side, give the attacking buff to the Tiger Cane as well. Take over the single damage to the, okay, yeah, there's some sort of translation error going on here. So yeah, I'm still trying to figure out Todo, so we'll push him to one side. Fujigoro uses powerful spell individually and collectively. After activating special skill, summon a Jade Dog and deal additional damage after attacking. So I guess a nice little attacking character that can do extra attacks, so something to take note of. It is already a highly powerful single target technique, so pretty standard. Panda, high durability with opening defense buff, attracts all enemy single attacks to yourself with own skill. So Panda is going to be that defense play character. He can also taunt, so that's going to be his main role. However, he does have a gorilla mode, which will of course allow him to do some offensiveness damage right there, but key role defense play. So that's something to take note of when it comes to potentially one-in Panda. I think he might be the biggest play, keeping that defense up. And then Maki can use single target and whole attack without using magical power. That's very nice to have. And she's also playing that supportive role, so supports the firepower of allied taijutsu attackers with taijutsu defense lowering effect. So yeah, Maki is clearly going to be playing a huge role right there when it comes to that debuff, but also buffing up our teammates. Wait, doesn't what technically should be pretty nice? Oh, her with Nanami, that would be pretty big, as well as Idatori, right? Alright, well that's going to be something to take note of. Lastly, Gojo, the Godfather. Overwhelm others with high attacking power and constant damage immunity, leaves the party after 7 turns. So, down here, so when it comes to other characters, they consume about 10 to 30 magical power when using their skills. Gojo only consumes 1 magical power and nullifies all damage. Gojo is invincible basically, right? There's no other way to put it. He's invincible. Okay. In the live stream broadcast, a debuff called Urgent Business was applied as soon as the battle started, and the rotation 7 could be seen. So basically, just to give it to you straight, Gojo does insane amount of damage. He consumes barely near to none magical power, right? So he's very consistent. And then what will happen is after the 7th turn, he'll just leave. He's so keep in mind, he's invincible. He can't die. Gojo is so broken that you can't use him forever. Now, of course, there are some disadvantages to come from this, because I mean, you could come across a boss fight or a raid of some sort that might go over the 7-turn mark, and so by him leaving, it might put you in that disadvantage depending on what the team comp is. But he's so broken that after 7 turns, he disappears. I do kind of like that they did that, right? To make, I mean, well, I don't know how I feel about it, because at the same time in the future, I would like a Gojo where we can actually keep him rather than him just leaving. But this is very, very interesting to see. I wasn't expecting anything like this. You know, I really thought we were just gonna get, you know, with how like these games are, I just thought, right, Gojo's gonna just be introduced. I mean, he's gonna be broken in some way or form potentially, but they just went, screw it, let's just make him like stupidly broken. Let's just break the absolute game with this man. But let's make it so that he disappears on the 7th, or after the 7th turn. So it's interesting. I'm here for it. I am not sad or upset in any way about it. Yeah, I don't know. I like the concept. I don't know what to say. I do like the concept of it all. So that's kind of where we're at right now. So like I said, all of the SSR characters, well not all of them. Yeah, Inumaki wasn't shown. I think Inumaki is the only one that wasn't shown, because I don't know what the state of the original character rarity are. I know the rest are SRs. No, yeah, Mechamaru is also an SR. Yeah, I think Inumaki is the only character that we haven't seen. I kind of want to know what he's going to be doing, because I feel like this character might be somewhat kind of broken potentially. But either way, that's kind of where we're at right now with Jujutsu Kaisen, with the foundation that we have for the characters on who to go for. Gojo, just